You know, there are actually 3 ways I can teach you which will enable you to do your handstand really easy. Now, I know you see the handstand, and yes, I know there's a lot of kids that did it in high school, and you tend to think to yourself, man, that looks extremely difficult. I was most definitely like that. I saw a lot of people when I was in my school days, they would do the handstand effortlessly. I'd see a lot of gymnasts, a lot of ballet people. Every time I would try to do a handstand, I'd always fall on my face and I'd bust my lip, and it put me off, and I didn't do it for a good 10 plus years. And it wasn't until last year where I actually decided to do a handstand. And even a dumbass like me was able to do it. So this is more so a foolproof guide to doing a handstand. And I'm calling it a foolproof guide because I'm someone who's never naturally good at doing a handstand. I had to go through trial and error. And when you usually go through trial and error, it tends to feel like there's just so many obstacles, but I found the formula which will work for you. There's really three muscle parts which are really gonna help you do your handstand. So listen very carefully. You have your shoulders, which we're going to use to our advantage to do the handstand. We have our legs, which we will use as leverage in our handstand, and we also have our hips, which we'll use as a leverage for our handstand. So when doing your handstand, let's talk about shoulders first. So the beauty about doing a handstand, you don't even need to be really strong to be able to do this stuff. I mean, there's a reason why you see literally kids able to pull this off without any effort. And you're watching this video, my videos are usually tailored to people who are over the ages of 18. So I'm assuming you are a lot stronger than a kid who's starting out and just exercising for the first time. If that's not the case, man, we're gonna get you checked. So for our first handstand, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go on the floor and we're gonna really focus on our shoulders this time. So assuming you have even a little bit of shoulder strength. Now here's the beauty of doing a handstand. You don't need to put your legs all the way up in the wall. It can even be in a smooth surface. Now the handstand doesn't need to be perfect now because you're starting out. But as you gradually do it over time, you're going to become naturally better. So even if it's a few inches above the ground, even if it's 2 inches above the ground, put your feet in a wall. This is how I learned my handstand, and a simple framework. If you want to really use your shoulders only. Obviously put your whole body in the wall, but I want you to only use your shoulders. Push your shoulders. I have a video on the screen of me doing it. Focus on your shoulders, tense your shoulders, and literally lean your body forward. With that shoulder strength, it's going to be able to let you lean your body forward. Right, now here's another important thing, because I know you're thinking when you're doing this, I might fall. Now this is where the palms come in. You feel like you're going to drop, what I want you to do is, I want you to push your palms forward. So this is where your claws come into place. Whenever you feel like you're going to drop, press the floor with your palms, like press it down, and it's gonna push you backwards. And the same vice versa. If you think you're gonna fall backwards, I want you to push your palms forward. I'm gonna put a tape. You'll see it, so it'll be a lot easier to explain. Now, we've done the shoulder part. I told you what you need to do with your shoulders. Really self-explanatory. Doesn't even take a genius to understand. That's why when I explain things, I make it very simple. Now with your hips is very useful. As you can see with your hips, it's like nearly the middle of your body part, so you can really just, determine where things go. When you do this, you can use your hips as momentum. So when your legs up on the wall, just simply push your hips forward. You will notice your body naturally just goes forward and your legs will naturally come off the wall. And if you're scared, obviously you can use the hand method, so just press down on the floor with your claws. That's gonna bring you back when doing so also. The hips is actually a big muscle in your back, so it's gonna play a major factor and probably one of the more easier sides to allow you to do your handstand with ease. So that's something I'd really recommend also. So really helpful for going forward, and it's really helpful for going backwards too. Now the last and the most important, I really recommend using your legs. Your legs are probably the biggest muscles you have in terms of body part, and most definitely the longest. It'd be a fool not to use it to your advantage. Now, when you're starting out, I know this is very scary when you're on the wall. It's the fear of falling. I understand. It happened to me a lot of the time when I do my handstands, So when you're starting out doing that, don't be afraid to put one leg out when you do your handstands also. There's nothing wrong with having one leg out when doing your handstands. This is going to give your body a feel. And you're actually halfway there when doing it, because the whole point of a handstand is to have the entire body out. So if even one of your legs are in the air, even if one's in the wall, at least another one's out in the air. And then from there, do it with the other leg also. And then, because bearing in mind, your body's still going to be positioned not too far off from the ground, so it's probably only going to be about 1 or 2 inches up in the air. So you can literally use your legs, have both your legs locked together straight, and then simply push it with your ass, and you'll notice it'll make your body move forward. And the tapes I have on the screen is obviously testament to that. And from there, keep doing what I told you. With time, you will get there. You can use parallettes also, but when you're starting out, I wouldn't recommend using parallettes, simply because you haven't gotten the balance part on point yet. You do need some form of shoulder strength to keep a handstand, and core strength also, and just have straight legs, straight glutes and whatnot. So train that to a minimum. You don't need to be the strongest guy in the world to do handstand. Yes, there are many variations like the handstand push-ups, but you're not ready for that yet, because how can you do handstand push-ups if you're not in handstand? So yeah. That's all I have to tell you in terms of beginning, where to start. If you have any more questions in terms of doing a handstand, you can comment below. If you want any more handstand videos, don't hesitate to let me know, because after many struggles, I'd say I'm pretty decent at doing a handstand now, so I know my stuff. But if I were to give 3 advices, those would be the 3 I'd give for you. There are many other ways to learn a handstand, but those were the 3 that I found the most simple, beneficial to me.